thank you guys for being patient. I know we had you pre-staged out here a little bit early, but we had some things that had to fall into place before we could come out and make our announcement. I'm going to start out by saying that on the investigative side of this thing, we're going to be very limited in what we can say, what we can reveal as far as evidentiary findings and stuff like that. So just be patient with me as this unfolds. You guys will understand why. But earlier today, the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, Homeland Security Investigations Task Force, which also includes members of the Brevard County Sheriff's Office, arrested 59-year-old Ricky Delano, Sheppard of Melbourne, for possession of child pornography. Sheppard's arrest was a result of a child pornography investigation.
Say again?
Sheppard's arrest was a result of a child pornography investigation, which led to a federal search warrant being executed this morning at his residence at 1824 Clover Drive in Melbourne. The United States Attorney's Office is actively reviewing information related to this investigation and will be releasing official charges and more details as they become available. Sheppard is a Brevard Public School employee. He's the principal of Spessard, Holland Elementary School in Satellite Beach. The Brevard County School Board, specifically their team, Dr. Blackburn, have been very instrumental in assisting in this investigation. From the moment they became aware of it, they have done everything they can to support the investigation. I will tell you that at this point, Sheppard is in federal custody with charges of child pornography. We did execute, as I said, a search warrant at his home, and significant evidence was found there. I can't go into great detail about that evidence at this time until future parts of the investigation unfold. I will tell you that he is in custody. He will not go for a hearing until sometime next week. So essentially at this time it's being held in federal court until pending the hearing. Again, I want to commend our superintendent, our school, for our school system for everything they've done to support this. I know Dr. Blackburn has some information, and I'll step back up and take any questions relative to the investigation.
Thank you, Sheriff. Good afternoon, everyone. I too want to say thank you, and I appreciate the patience you all have shown for us. I know we have been waiting for a while. Obviously, words can't adequately express just how saddened and disgusted I am by what the sheriff just shared with you. I will tell you that the district was made aware of this this morning, and later this morning we did relieve that principal of duty, effective today. I will be bringing a recommendation to our school board at our very next meeting to remove him permanently and seek non-renewal of his annual contract effective June 30th of this year. Allegations of this nature represent perhaps the highest violation of trust by people who are supposed to safeguard our children, our educators. So this is extremely important to us. I will tell you that, share some information with you. Mr. Sheppard began his employment with the Brevard Public School System back on August 24, 1981. He served in various positions through that time. 14 years at various schools, Creole Elementary, Freedom 7 Elementary, Stevenson Elementary. The 15-16 school year, the school year that just completed, this was his first year as principal of Holland Elementary. Several things came to my mind as superintendent of schools when this item came to my attention. One was just how swiftly we could address the matter in terms of his employment, his access to our children, so we took care of that. But two, I needed to know as superintendent if there was any previous history of this nature in his personnel file. And I will share with you, back in 1999, there is an official written reprimand in his record for inappropriate gifts and comments made to a first grade student. That is in his personnel file, and we will absolutely make that available to you at this time. We will, in the future, as information unfolds, as we learn more, we will absolutely, our parents out there, we will absolutely be reaching out to you, particularly with additional information. But like I said earlier, and like the sheriff mentioned, we are limited in where we are in the investigation right now. We're just doing our best to cooperate with Sheriff Ivey and his staff
somebody that's a principal in an elementary school, we expect that person to have the highest standards, and clearly this individual did not. Everything that we have at this time indicates there's a history of child pornography. We are looking into it. We are looking at every aspect. I know that there are parents and citizens that are probably asking themselves a lot of questions right now and have a lot of questions about it. As Dr. Blackburn said, in the future, as quickly as we can, convene with everybody and share with them everything we know. In the meantime, parents that have concerns, if you have information relative to this case, please contact Crime Line at 1-800-423-TIPS. As always, you can contact us through our Facebook page by sending us a personal message where we'll have an agent contact you. Our smartphone app that allows you to send us a tip. All of those things we want to ask our parents. If you have any concerns or any information relative to this investigation, please don't hesitate to contact us. Any piece of information can be significant to us, so we want to make sure that we get every bit of cooperation we can. You know, it's a tough day for all of us, and I will tell you that our team did an excellent job, a great interagency cooperation between the federal agencies, our agency, the United States Attorney's Office, everybody working together to make sure we get this individual behind bars. And I'm sickened by it. I look at this case and I find it hard to understand how anybody could be this demented, but certainly we are here today with that information, and we are going to take a full course to make sure that we leave nothing unturned in this investigation. At this time, we don't know of any local victims. We do, as I said, if our parents have a piece of information, if our citizens have a piece of information, certainly we want to talk to them. But at this time, we do not have any specific information of local victims. Obviously, he's been charged at this time with child pornography charges. But again, we don't want to leave anything out. We want to make sure we pursue every potential lead.
I'd like to empower all parents. The sheriff mentioned the contact information if there are any concerns or questions. I mentioned I've been a veteran employee with the district since 1981 at various locations. To better empower the parents, I do want to mention the years of service and exactly where this individual worked. From 1981 to 1984, he was a teacher at Port Malabar Elementary School. From 85 to 89, he was a teacher at Creole Elementary School, and then from 89 to 95, he was an assistant principal at Creole Elementary School. From 1995 to 2003, he was a teacher at Gemini Elementary. From 2003 to 2007, he was a teacher at Freedom 7 Elementary. And from 2007 through 2009, he was an assistant principal. From 2009 to 2015, he was also assistant principal at Stevenson Elementary School. And as I mentioned earlier, this past school year 15-16, he was principal at Holland Elementary School.
What happened with that allegation in '99? Was it unfounded? Was he counseled? What happened?
As far as I can tell from looking at the records from that point, obviously some type of allegation came through. Some type of administrative review of the information was done, and they saw it fit at that time to issue that official reprimand. It rose to the level of official reprimand.
Sheriff, how did the Sheriff's Department get wind of this? What was the tip that led to this?
At this point, I can't give you that. As I said, we had some investigative leads that our team was working with, but and just trying to keep the absolute integrity of the investigation in check. We want to make sure we do everything absolutely right. The last thing we want is for a technicality or something to assist him in his defense. So again, there's just a few things that we're going to have to look at.
Sure, because he was involved with ISIS investigating this. Was he on overseas trips?
I can't answer that at this time, but although I will tell you that I don't believe so, but I don't have that absolutely. We're still very early. Even though we've concluded the search warrant at his residence, we have a significant amount of things that we have to go through. It will literally be weeks before we have what is absolute a clear and well-drawn picture of the extent of his involvement in child pornography. But again, our team is working with that. And, you know, we talk about all the different agencies and stuff. I want to make sure to commend the individuals that are out doing the search warrants, our crime scene, our agents. As you can imagine, this is very difficult to not only investigate, but also difficult to cope with and process internally. So our team's done a great job. They will continue to do that. And then we know that our friends and partners from the U.S. Attorney's Office are going to do their end of it as this thing unfolds.
How long was this investigation underway before this arrest, Sheriff?
Actually just a few days. It's not an extensive investigation, which again, it will now lengthen as we start to process and go through all the different stuff, but not a lengthy time frame at all. Anything else that we can answer for you?
Lieutenant Blackburn.
Sure.
You met with your staff today, called the meeting. What can you tell them?
So we haven't met with staff yet. We wanted to get the information out, mass communication across our community, and we'll be meeting with staff at the school at some point today. We'll be meeting with staff at the school. I did give an advance notice to the other 81 principals of this district, so they just understood what was happening with one of their colleagues.
Sheriff, I know that you said that it's early in the investigation, but is there any indication that the suspect may have actually made any pornographic images, or is it just a possession that we're looking at?
Right now, the charges are relative to possession, but again, we are so early in this. Until we have a chance to digest and go through everything, I won't be able to know. In fact, our team at this point doesn't know. So, but as soon as we do, and I know Dr. Blackburn and I both talked about it, but we know our parents and our citizens are going to be just very, very concerned. As soon as we can provide an update to both you and to our parents, we'll get everybody together and do just that. We want to definitely make sure that we're keeping everybody apprised of what's going on as this thing continues to unfold. And, again, I want to apologize to you guys before we part. I know we had you guys out here a little bit earlier, but we were waiting for the actual complaint to be signed before we could release it. And so it took a little bit longer than we anticipated, but thank you for your patience.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bill.
Thank you.
All right, thank you guys.
Thanks.